number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Patrick Cristiano, your host, the publisher of TheaterLife.com, a website for theater buffs covering everything theater. And we're coming to you from the LTV studio in Wainscott, where I have a really special guest, my friend, Riki Kane Larimer, theater producer, entrepreneur, a member of Bay Street Board. You've come here to share all the stuff that you're doing and you have been doing during COVID. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you, Riki.
Thank you, Patrick. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, it's my pleasure, too.
I always love chatting with you.
And I love chatting with you. But let's get to what you're doing right away, because you have a really cool project that you conceived.
Yes, I did.
It's called the American Songbook.
It's
the
called,
York.
It's the York, which I'm also on the board. You have to mention that
yes,
I'm
you're
the
on
vice
the board
president
of
of the board.
And you make
the
things
York
happen when you're
Theater
on the
Company,
board, I can
which
tell you that.
is just celebrating its 50th anniversary.
Wow.
We're very proud of that.
We love the York.
I love the York. If people don't know about it, it's on 54th Street in Manhattan. Like everyone, we've had a very difficult spring and summer. It's been tough, but we will come back, that's for sure. In the meantime, like so many of these theater companies, what we're doing is figuring out other ways to stay busy and to entertain our wonderful patrons. And so now the York is unique in that we produce musicals, only musicals.
Yeah.
Sometimes
original musicals.
Sometimes they're original, and sometimes we bring back forgotten musicals or musicals that didn't get very much attention when they came out years ago. We do bring back musicals, but that's our thing, is musicals. We don't do straight plays.
Right.
Nothing about the York, nothing about the York is straight. That came out funny, but that's the truth.
But it's true,
So I came up with this idea of doing a cabaret series. And I approached Michael Feinstein.
Bravo.
Who is the founder and the director of the Great American Songbook Foundation. He really has a wonderful organization, and I'm fortunate to know him and the people on his board. And so I thought, what a great thing to do, to take the Great American Songbook and do the Broadway Great American Songbook. So all the songs that are on this new cabaret series are from Broadway musicals, that's our approach, and that's the way we present it. And I have to tell you, I am so proud and so delighted of the way this thing came out, because what we decided to do is, rather than doing it on a Zoom where you have each person singing live, which is fine, but the way to make it really slick and really professional is to pre-record it. Now, I learned that from Bay Street. When Bay Street, if you remember, Bay Street did a fantastic gala, and a lot of it, most of it was pre-recorded. So what we did with this cabaret series is we pre-recorded it in my living room, which was so much fun. I can't begin to tell you. I mean, I got stories up the kazoo, but this was really fun.
You have a fabulous baby grand piano in the middle of your living room.
It's not a baby. This is a mother grand piano.
I wouldn't know the difference.
Well, no, it's just bigger.
No,
but this grand piano was my late husband, Bob Larimer, who was a wonderful composer and lyricist. When we went to buy a new piano for our apartment, we were going to get a Steinway. And then we sat down at Faust, and he played this Bechstein, which is like a level above the Steinway, and he fell in love with it. Well, now
That's
this
the piano
poor,
that's in your
this,
home?
You fell in love with this piano, and that's the piano. But the poor piano, I don't play. It sits there and it looks at me and it says, "Nobody's playing me."
But you brought people in to play it, and I've been there. I've been seeing it. So now
once
you
in a
did.
blue moon, once in a blue moon. But this was, it really got played. We have terrific.
Let's show them because
okay.
the series started already November 7th, and
It did.
And the first person was Alton Fitzgerald,
White.
who is King Mufasa in
Yes,
The Lion
in
King.
The
He played
Lion
over
King.
4,000 performances.
And Michael introduces everyone, and then Jim Morgan, our artistic director
of York,
is at the end of each performance.
So we have a little segment of Alan Fitzgerald, Riley. Let's show that to the audience.
They live in you. They live in me. They're watching over everything we see. Into the water, into the truth, in your reflection. They live in you. Inganyama, lingwenama bala. Inganyama, lingwenama bala.
So he's terrific. He's wonderful. 4,000, over 4,000 performances in The Lion King.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and he's been in many shows. He's got a terrific voice.
I don't know how they do that every night and 8 times a week. Well, they're not doing anything like that right now.
The viewers can't actually see him because his performances will be over. Now, who else is in the lineup? We have Leroy Reams.
Leroy Reams.
Ben Vereen.
Ben Vereen. I mean, these are major people. Robert Creighton, who was is my Cagney. And going to
Robert
London
Creighton
with me.
is the star of Cagney, which is an off-Broadway show that Riki produced, and we've done a show talking
and
about
actually started at the York. So
oh.
here's an example of an original musical that went on. I mean, I fell in love with this. This is a great tap dancing if you haven't seen it. It ran for 15 months at the West Side Theater, and then we brought it to Los Angeles and had a wonderful run there. But it's the story of Jimmy Cagney, and
it's fabulous.
yeah.
I reviewed it and loved it. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Oh, I do remember that. I remember all the great reviews.
But he's phenomenal.
Bobby is amazing. I mean,
And we'll talk more about that later. I want to stay with this because you're going to bring it to London, and we want to talk a little bit about what's happening there. But I want to get through this lineup,
We
too.
have so much to talk about.
Yes,
Ooh!
and our time goes fast here. You wouldn't believe how quick it goes.
Okay.
So we have Lilius White, Karen Mason, George Budd, Robert. Who else am I missing there? That's going to be in the cabaret.
Ben Vereen, Bobby Creighton, Lilius White. Oh, Clea Blackhurst.
Oh,
my
yes.
God. She is incredible. I mean, Clea is just a powerhouse singer and just such a lovely person. I'm nuts about her. She is a dynamo. They're all great. I mean, we really are thrilled. And we have a surprise guest coming on with Bobby Creighton's performance, Richard Kind. And he is doing this amazing song.
When is Rob? Do
anybody
we
out
have
there-
the dates? Do we know what date Robert Creighton's coming?
I have it. I don't
Okay, well, you have to
remember
go to the website and
No,
check
you
it
have
out.
to go to
'cause
the
We
website.
can't digress to
But
find it.
Bobby Creighton is his special guest is Richard Kind, and Richard Kind is doing a song which I thought I was wrong. I thought it was called "He's Screwing Dolores Del Rio," but Michael Feinstein corrected me and said, "Well, it's actually called the Butler Song." But he did this in Enter Laughing, which is a wonderful musical that we did at Bay Street and at the York. Written by Joe Stein and Stanley, I can't think of his last name, but wonderful piece. And so this is the Butler singing to this kid who pretends that he wants to be a great actor, and he has this fantasy that he's got all these romantic encounters with everybody from Betty Davis to Dolores Del Rio. It's just such a great song, and Richard is so much fun to work with.
He did this in your living room too? Has this been pre-recorded already?
He did it in my apartment, and he comes in and he says, I want the lyrics real big, 15 point. I want a real big size lyrics. So where are the lyrics? And and then I said, well, listen, Richard, you look at you. You're in shorts and a T-shirt. You got to get dressed. I got a suit right here. Where do I change? So I take him into my bedroom, and I said, I don't invite too many men in my bedroom lately. So he's changed. He says, tell me about Bay Street. He's on the board with me on Bay Street.
I know.
And then he takes his pants off. I said, oh, my God. I said, you want me to look the other way? It's nothing you haven't seen before. He is so funny.
He never stops. He never stops.
And
really
Leroy is
we have a clip. Let's show the clip, and then we'll talk about him first.
Good.
So let's show the Leroy Weems clip.
The band begins to go to town and everyone goes crazy. You rock-a-bye your baby round till everything gets hazy. Hush-a-bye, I'll buy you this and that. You'll hear your daddy saying, and baby goes home to her flat to sleep all day. Good night, baby. Good night. That old milkman's on his way. The minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined.
Okay.
Say, wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? So let me get right to the point. I don't my cork for every guy I see. Hey, big spender! Spend a little time with me. Look at that crowd up ahead. Listen and hear that brass harmony growing. Look at that crowd up ahead. Pardon me if my whole spirit is flowing. All of those lights.
Great. Fabulous.
He's
amazing.
He's a major talent. He is.
He's so talented, and he has the most impressive resume. I mean, he got, I think he got a Tony for 42nd Street. Do you know that he played Dolly in the road tour of Hello, Dolly? Can you imagine that?
But you know what else? He's also just a downright really nice person.
And tells
He's really
the
nice.
best stories. He's got to be one of the greatest raconteurs ever. He just he's known everyone, and he's had a great career. He's still having a great career. I saw him not too long ago at 54 Below on New Year's Eve. I guess it was 2 years ago. He's still doing a lot of cabaret.
He's very
He's
lively
great.
and right out
He's-
there. So you're also having Lilius White. Let's show Lilius for people that don't know who she is. We have a
do
picture.
you have Lilius
No, we have a
White?
picture of her.
Oh, a picture.
I just
Oh,
wanted
she's
to,
good.
because she is just incredible. I saw her Tony-winning performance
Did
in
you?
The
I
Life,
missed it.
and I mean that's when I met her. Actually,
Oh, you did?
I met her just a little bit before that. I had a friend of mine who was good friends with her. I got to go backstage and meet her and talk to her and everything. So
Nice.
And she's been out here at Bay Street too. You know that too.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
she's
told me she knows Bay Street.
yeah.
But
I did an
didn't see.
interview
I've
with
never
her
seen
too.
her perform except in my living room.
Wasn't she born?
She was amazing.
She's what the kids call dope.
She's very special.
She's going to close out the show in December. I think her date is December. You'll have
Yeah.
to check the website to see all the people and the dates, and they all do more than one performance.
They do, and it's all organized, very easy to follow
So each-
on the website. No, there are 7 shows.
But 4 performances each, right?
Yes, and then at the end, the 8th show is our holiday gala, and that is full of surprises. I mean, that's going to be an amazing show, and that happens on the 21st of December. But you can get all the information online, and it's not expensive, and it's all a donation to the York, which
Yeah,
we really
which is a
appreciate.
nonprofit, isn't it?
The York is a not-for-profit,
Mm-hmm.
and we totally depend on contributions from you, everybody out there. The York Theater is, we've been having a little bit of a tough time, like everybody has during this, because we can't put any shows in. So we're really counting on this.
Well, let's hope we put some money in the coffers, right?
Yeah. It's just so important.
But,
On the website.
Our time, it goes so fast, you wouldn't believe it. But you're on the board at Bay Street, and I wanted to share with the audience, for people that didn't read it in the paper, like I didn't read it in the paper, Bay Street, I knew they were in contract on a property. I did not know they closed.
Well,
so tell us about what's going on.
We closed last Friday. This is
Well, tell the people who don't, let's tell them where it is.
Okay, Bay Street Theater in Sag Harbor is also a not-for-profit, wonderful regional theater company, and our artistic director is Scott Schwartz. And our executive director is Tracy Mitchell. Now, Tracy has been working so hard, so determined, and so absolutely driven for Bay Street to have its own theater. The theater that we're in right now, which is charming and lovely, is rented, and it's not in the best of shape, and we've outgrown it, and there are many reasons, but. Anyway, what we started to do is look for property, but we don't have the money, right? I mean, it's so expensive. You can imagine property out here in the Hamptons. Out of heaven, I'm not kidding, out of nowhere comes this angel by the name of Adam Potter. He just appeared, he was a patron, he was not on the board, and he's retired, and he just loves theater, and this is what he loves to do. He said to Tracy, I am going to get involved with you, and I am going to raise the money. And he deals with the mayor and the.
So how much did he raise? 33 million, is that right?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say how much.
You
but
can't
it's
say how much.
It's that neighborhood. So
But tell them, so Bay Street bought the space where the 7-Eleven in Sag Harbor used to be.
Where the 7-Eleven.
They have these incredible.
And the Chinese takeout, don't forget the Chinese takeout, right, like facing the
Right.
water where that new condo is.
And they're going to
is
break
being
ground
built.
in June? Can we-
We were scheduled to break ground in June. Now it doesn't look like it'll
Oh.
be June. But our plan is to have the area cleared and put up a tent. And
have
in
the gala?
July, do our gala facing the water, where we always did it on the pier. Remember, we always had it on the pier. But now we're going to be able to have it right on our own property. But then we're going to start building, and there's going to be 2 theaters.
That's the most exciting part.
One is a 299 seat theater, like what we have right now,
And the other?
and the other is a 99 seat developmental theater called the Larimer Theater.
After
I'm
your
so
husband.
proud. After my husband. So I just wish he could be here to know. I mean, I know you say,
He
oh,
knows,
he's listening,
he
he's
knows.
listening. I'm not so sure. he's
I know. Let's pretend like he does.
But it's all very exciting, and there's some really wonderful board members who are putting in a lot of money also, and we've just all come together and made it happen. And that Adam Potter and Tracy, you can't believe the determination and the drive to make this thing a reality.
I'm so excited for
Bay
them.
Street to have its own, and it's really going to be what we should be having. I mean, it's going to be gorgeous.
It's going to give you something to grow into and just keep growing. It's amazing.
I wish we
I'm
could-
so excited that it's so close by too, and it doesn't.
It's
make
right
it,
there.
I know. It's just
I
amazing.
forgot to mention, it's like adjacent from where the theater is right now. It's
Diagonal
very close
right
to it.
across. I know. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a walk.
So now here's your chance, Riki, because since we're talking about Bay Street, I want you to show the audience, do your step and repeat, which you have done, and you're gonna do this to.
Oh, well, this was funny because at the opening of our gala last summer, not this past summer, but 2019, there's always a step and repeat sign.
Right.
That everybody gets in front of and does, do pictures
Right,
and
right.
there's the camera and Barry's
Barry takes
busy
the
and they're
pictures.
also busy shooting pictures. So I got up there and I did my little dance. So I want to do it for
Your
you.
camera's over there.
Okay. It's called step and repeat. Step and repeat. Step, 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 step and repeat. step and repeat. Step, 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 and repeat. It's silly, but it was fun.
And you wanted to do it, it's great. But, you know, so now, besides your step and repeat and your stuff at Bay Street and the York and all these things, you're working with Cagney again.
Yes.
And you, just before COVID
Right.
broke
well,
out, you
well,
were really hot to trot to bring
We're
this to
still
London.
hot to
But
trot.
I mean, like, you had to
and-
slow it down
and,
is what
you
I
know,
meant.
with the
We couldn't
news
go
this
as fast.
morning that there's going to be a vaccine and so forth, we're getting really excited about. But here's where we are with Cagney. Okay, this is going to be a London project. The best thing is that we have a brand new Tony-winning director, a guy by the name of John Rando, who has been phenomenal. He won a Tony for Urinetown. He was the director of On the Town, which is where I met him because I was involved in On the Town at the Lyric Theater. And and he's worked very closely with Josh Burgas, who's our choreographer. They've done a lot of projects together. So they're a great team, and I brought John in, and he is working with our writers, Peter Colley and Christopher McGovern and Bobby Creighton, who's also very involved in the book. And what he's
So
doing
Bobby's
is
because Bobby wrote it
reshaping
originally,
it.
did he? Did he?
Bobby wrote a lot of it,
Okay.
but there are also two other writers involved in it. And I'm just so delighted about the way he sees, the way he envisions the changes, and how he's reshaping it and
How do
tightening
you see him changing it? What
it's
is he?
a-
What's he going to do?
What he's doing is he doesn't want. Okay, this is his words. He wants less crap and more tap, and he wants to get rid of the fluff. In other words, we don't need to have Jack Warner's secretary do a big. This is about a man who is legendary. By the way, the name of the show has changed. It's no longer
Oh, you
called
have a new name?
Cagney.
What is it?
The name of the show is Top of the
I
World.
love it.
The Jimmy Cagney musical, similar to Beautiful, the Carole King musical. So they were a little concerned over there in London that maybe not everybody knows who Jimmy Cagney was. But Top of the World, of course, is the big
Yeah.
final, ending of White Heat, where he's on top of the big oil,
Right.
and then everything explodes, and he's top of the world, Mom. He's so great. I love Bobby
My
Creighton.
father was a big Jimmy Cagney fan, so I've
Oh.
seen all his movies. But I really think, like in London, I think a lot of people would not know who he was, especially your young audiences,
Well, so it's going to be called
who will
Top of the
gravitate to him
World.
when they find out. Do you know that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing is we're going to we're going to cast it over there, and it's not going to be a great big show. It's not going to be
So
a
the only
lot
person you're keeping is Robert.
of Robert, as far
Robert
as we
Creighton.
know. And, at first I was thinking of getting a big name for Jack Warner, but John doesn't want to do that. He wants to keep the focus on the man. And so we're going to go over there and do a workshop production and invite every theater owner that we can and every investor, and then get a theater there.
And how do you coordinate this during COVID? How does it happen?
Well, you can't do it during COVID.
so what do you do? Just sit and
Patrick,
wait now?
you have to wait until this thing is over. And the minute we get the green light, we are packing up and making our arrangements, and we're on
Will
our
it be
way.
a fight for theaters at that point?
Well, as soon as they allow theater attendance,
Uh-huh.
as soon as everything relaxes and we can go over there without quarantining and all of that, as soon as we get the green light that it's okay and things are getting somewhat back to normal, so that we don't have to, constantly worry about the virus.
Do you think they're
I don't
going to?
know
Do you
who knows
think
when
they'll-
that's going to be.
Do you think they'll be ahead of us and being
I don't know.
because
Maybe.
I know none of us have any answers, do we?
Nobody knows. Really, we don't know. I mean, everything's a big question mark, but we are preparing, and we're working on the script. The script is changing about 20%. The score is the same. I mean, the score is great, Yankee Doodle Dandy
It's
and Grand
fabulous.
Old Flag, and it's really terrific.
And Robert is just amazing. And I mean, he is the epitome, the essence of Cagney. I mean, he blew me away.
Well, when he was in acting school, his acting teacher said to him, "You know, you look so much like Jimmy Cagney," and he got started on that, and he did his research, and he said, "You know what? I really want to pursue this. This is a great idea," and that's when it started years ago, when he was a kid.
So his acting
suits
teacher
him.
planted the seed.
Yeah, exactly.
It grew.
Exactly.
And then he
She
wrote the
planted-
script.
She planted the
How
seed.
did it come to you initially?
How did who come to me?
The Cagney.
Oh, well, I was at the York, and I saw a video of what they were planning to bring. Oh, I know what happened.
About a minute and a half.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, anyway, no, the way it happened was they started it at the York because the show that the York was planning had to cancel. So they brought in Cagney, and as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. I love tap. I love patriotic music. I love those songs. I really always loved that type of music. So I said, this is something I really want to take to the next level. And that's when I presented it to the West Side Theater and to Terry, Terry at the West Side. And they took it, and it was a sellout. It was a great success. And then, so now, you know what?
How long did it run at the West Side?
How much what?
How long did it run at the West Side?
15 months.
And then you took it to LA for how many performances? That was just a short
Well,
one.
that we only could do a short window because Bobby was in Frozen.
Oh,
So
I
he
knew there was-
needed to be back, and so we can only do 3.5 weeks.
It was just to test the waters, so to speak, right?
But it was a big hit. And my partner, Katie Edelman Johnson, lives in LA. Her father wrote and produced 14 Jimmy Cagney movies, including White Heat. So we have, I wish she were here, you'd interview her with me. She's very
Bring her next
interesting.
time. we have 15 seconds left.
okay.
You're going to have to come back and share the progress of what's going on at Bay Street and what's happening with you and with Cagney as soon as you're kind of ready to gear up to go to London. We want to hear more about it.
I will. I'd love to come back anytime.
You've got always something happening. You're going to have more stuff going. So
And go to our website, York Theater, THEATRE, like Jim likes to say the pretentious way, .org.
Thank you for coming, Riki.
Thank you, Patrick. It's
pleasure.
been a pleasure.